If you've clicked on this video, it's because you want to know what to expect on safari.
Yeah, and we're bringing you this video directly here from South Africa. As you can see behind us, we've got the Waterberg Mountains. We're in Ellie National Park here in South Africa, and we're staying here at Maritaba Mountain Lodge. We have videos of the lodge and safari. I recommend you watch them after this video. We're going to be giving you a guide on each area. As we've been on a good few game drives now, we're just going to be giving you an oversight of what you can expect on your safari. So number one is, what can you expect your time of your game drives to be in the winter and summer? So we'll start with summertime. We're currently here in South African winter. As you can see, it's quite dry and arid behind us. In the summertime, your wake up call will be 5 AM and you'll be out on your first game drive between 5:30, 6 at the very latest in the mornings.
Yeah. And in the winter, like we are here now, wake up time is 6 AM and then you head out by 6:30. They like you to be down sort of the lodge by 6:15 so you can grab a drink and you can grab like a muffin or a biscuit or something like that before you go.
Our personal opinion, don't get up when they tell you at 6. We've been getting up half an hour before they say for us to get up, so we've been waking up at 5:30. Get down for the lodge at 6 because it gives you time to have a coffee, maybe another juice, have a couple of muffins, because when you go out on game drives in the morning, either time of year you'll be out on game drive for at least 3.5 to 4 hours. So you'll come back at around 10:30, 11 in the morning.
Yeah, like today, for instance, we didn't get back till 11:45. So yeah, it's very long morning. So yeah, you do want something like a snack before you go out on your first game drive of the morning.
Yes, and tip, empty your bladder before you go out on a game drive. Unless you're nervous, I've had 2 peas in the bush, and it is very nerve-wracking going in the bush because you're on edge. You're like, is there a jackal? Is there a lion watching me? You know, that kind of thing. So de-water yourself, water yourself, and then de-water yourself before you go out on your game drive.
Yeah, I mean, the ranger or your guide will look around sort of the bush to make sure that it is safe for you to go to the toilet if you do need to desperately go in the bush before you go. So you don't need to worry about that. I haven't yet been out in the bush.
You've been holding it in, brave.
Yeah.
But just for you who are going your first time, us men, it's easy. Women, you can buy a shiwi if it makes you a little bit easier, like instead of squatting in the bush, because you'd need your partner with you or whatever just to be a look about, because obviously for you women, I kind of feel sorry for you because it's a little bit awkward.
It's just not as easy.
Enough of that, yeah. The different times of year you'll come. First of all, we're here in the winter. We said earlier, it's quite dry and arid. Even though it's good for game viewing, it's still really hard to spot the big 5. So rhinos, I spotted a rhino earlier sleeping, but even though there's no leaves on the bush, when an animal goes deep into the bush, you can't go off-road in thick bush. So it's very hard to spot the animals. And
like giraffes, for instance, they're obviously very, very tall animals. You would think that they would be really easy to spot. They're not. They're really not.
Hell
easy.
no, they're so hard to spot, aren't they? I've spotted more bird and small things like guinea fowl and
impala
and zazus.
Yeah.
Red hot chili lipped hornbill, we call them, not the you know. Everyone knows who zazu is, so we've seen them. And obviously when you come in the summer, because summer's a wetter season, you have more rains. Some of the grasses you see in the winter like dry and not that tall, so the grass will be like this, but in the summer the grass will be 4 times higher, thick vegetation, all the trees will have green leaves everywhere, so game viewing will be a lot harder to view. And obviously you can find lodges are probably a little bit more cheaper that time of year as well, because it's not prime viewing time.
Not only that, I mean, the weather obviously is better in their summer, can get up to sort of 30-35 degrees.
Oh yeah.
Whereas now we're obviously here during the winter, it was like it felt like -1 this morning.
It was -1 this morning.
It was very cold. So
and then now look, I'm in a t-shirt. It's currently, so 6 hours ago I was wrapped up, 4 layers, t-shirt, 2 jumpers, jacket, woolly hat, gloves, and now it's about 18-19 degrees and I'm in a t-shirt and I'm quite warm. They're the different things you can kind of expect. On to the next category. So the next category will be how long you can spend on a game drive. So it varies. There's obviously, when you go out on a game drive, we went out on a game drive yesterday afternoon, 30 metres from the lodge, herd of elephants. Some of them were blocking the road, so you're getting natural roadblocks, which, you know.
You probably spend on average about 3 to 5 hours on each game drive. You tend to spend a little bit shorter in the mornings, but obviously the animals then go sort of hiding after they've sort of been up for a few hours, and then they come out later on in the day. So you'll typically have 2 game drives, one obviously first thing in the morning, and then you'll go out on the one in the evening, which in our circumstances it's been about 4 to 5 hours we've been out on afternoon game drives.
We go out, because in this winter about 3:30, we get back about 7ish, about 3.5 hours, and considering you do get a stop morning and the evening, you'll stop you have your special coffees, Amarula coffees, and then in the evenings you'll have your sundowners. We special coffees and a few bites to eat. So that's what you can expect, timing a game drive. So we'll move on to the next category now.
Category number 3 is things to do at your lodge, obviously between game drives. This is obviously very dependent on what lodge you stay at. If you stay at the Maritaba Safari Lodge, or if you stay at the Maritaba Mountain Lodge, there are a few different things that you can do. So the first one being bushwalks, which we got incorporated into one of our game drives this morning, which was absolutely fantastic. So that's the reason why we didn't get back till a lot later.
Bushwalks last between about an hour and a half up to 2 hours.
And then another thing that you can do, which again they'll incorporate, they won't really tell you when you're going to be doing it. They'll just sort of, it's a surprise basically, is the Miss Mara boating river cruise.
This is just something Maritaba Mountain and Safari Lodge just do, so just keep that in mind. Every other lodges will do something different. Yeah, the Miss Mara is brilliant. That will be incorporated within your game drive. Like Ellie said, it will be secret. That's like, you get about an hour and a half. We got something extra. We got to see hippos, and they were out on the banks during the side of the day.
And
we saw a baby.
A baby. Yeah. 2 babies.
When they got out of the water, they got back in. They were making some noise. I think there was a good cluster of 10 of them. That was amazing. Just a calm, relaxing, seeing a beautiful landscape.
Obviously, it is the wild. You cannot ever guarantee what animals you're going to see. It's just luck, you know. But if you don't see anything whilst you're on the Miss Mara, it's so peaceful, so beautiful. They give you drinks, you've got snacks. Like we had fruit this morning, we had some biscuits.
Just general safari snacks.
Yeah, it was just absolutely incredible. And it made it obviously extra incredible just by seeing those hippos that James was talking about.
Yeah, just to make you aware, if you're booking cheaper lodges, bushwalks and that might not be included. This is an all-inclusive lodge, Maritaba Mountain and Safari. If you go to other lodges where you're not all-inclusive, extra game drives might cost you a charge. Some lodges do night drives extra, which will be an extra charge, and obviously just remember you've got to pay national park fees. Might be a different charge. We booked for our travel agent, Karen and Stuart. Thank you very much if you're watching this. Our holiday included all the park fees and stuff, so we didn't have to worry about that. So just check with your travel agent. Don't ask us because we don't know about park fees. Research that yourself. There'll be other links to different. Kenya's different to Tanzania, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, South Africa. So do your research online.
There are a few obviously other things that you can do. At the Maritaba Mountain Lodge, there is a spa. When I say spa, there's a massage room. You can have a massage. This is obviously an extra cost. You can do other things. There's a tree house that we were supposed to be staying in, but it got cancelled due to the fires that we've spoke about previously.
So we'll probably add that in as a category a little bit later, so stay tuned for that.
So you can pay to stay in the tree house for the evening, which is exclusive to both this lodge and the Safari Lodge, and they have like bush picnics and stuff like that, which we're hopefully doing one tomorrow. So we'll put
the footage in. They take you out, so take you out secluded, get sort of a mini game drive. You'll have a ranger with you.
One other thing you can do is a trails walk, about 7 to 8 hours, so it's basically a full day of walking. Again, extra charge.
Lodge dependent, where you are, where you're staying.
But here you can book that, I believe. And yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted. You get to walk up into the mountains, and it sounds incredible if you're fit.
So, moving on to the next category. Hey, category number 4. Probably what most people know if you're watching this new is how to behave on a game drive. For those of you who are watching this who have done a safari, you know how to behave. We kind of knew because we watched loads of videos before. So if you're new, you've booked a safari, you're coming up to your first safari, or you're thinking of doing safari and you haven't booked one, you want to do it and you might be like, oh, I don't know how kind of this will work or that. So rule number 1, don't shout when you view game. Keep quiet, speak in a soft tone. Kind of like this between your driving mates. If you talk loud, some of the like elephants, rhino, they get spooked, they'll run away. You won't get good view gaming if you're shouting while the truck's in motion and game's up ahead. You're going to scare them away. Not
only that, the animals sort of see you and the car as one, but obviously if you're announcing yourself, you don't know obviously what behaviour they're going to sort of like portray kind of thing. So yeah, just keep quiet, enjoy the animals.
Get excited, but don't shout. Obviously when you stop to watch game viewing, don't stand up, stay seated in your vehicle, don't stick arms out like this, because if you're seeing a leopard or a lion, they don't see your arm as part of that vehicle, so they could come and claw and bite your arm off. You just basically stay seated, like get your camera, you can make obviously camera shutter noise, the click click, and you'll be fine with that. Just literally just sit there, just be a bit excited, you know. Some of the clips we've seen when you watch some of our safari vids after this video, just like how kind of that way?
Yeah, we were just talking normally between ourselves within the vehicle, and that's absolutely fine.
And your ranger, yeah, of course, because they'll be telling you stuff and like some interesting facts about the animals that you're seeing. So yeah, just be, you know, common sense. They're wild animals. You can't predict wild animals. You can't predict their behaviour. So just keep that in mind. There's nothing to you know, just stay seated and enjoy.
And if you go to a good lodge like we're at now, all of the trackers guides, they are obviously trained, and they're trained to know the behaviour of the animals, so they can pick up on certain things. If they know that an animal's not very happy, or you know, that a bit aggressive, that they can sense that and they can see that, and they will just move us away from that situation.
So we'll move on to the next category. The next category will be times you'll eat, or the times they'll feed you, because you get fed a lot here on safari, and the different type of items we can sort of recommend to pack depending on the time of year you come on safari. Feeding times, as we mentioned a little bit earlier on in this video, you'll wake up in the morning, whatever time you get called up, there'll be like a little breakfast laid out for you. You go out on your game drive, after about an hour and a half, you'll stop again, you'll have some more snacks, so that's the second time of eating. By the time you get back to your lodge around 10:30 to 11:30, there'll be brunch served for you. And before you go out on your afternoon game drive, between 2 and 3 o'clock, you'll have high tea. And then you go out on your afternoon drive. You'll be out for maybe an hour, 2 hours as the sun's going down, sometimes 3, before you'll stop again. You'll have more snacks.
And sundowners, you'll watch the sunset with some drinks and some snacks. It's honestly incredible.
We're getting into 5 now, getting into second hand, and then obviously when you come back to the lodge, you'll have dinner. So you'll have a 3-course meal at dinner. You'll have a 3-course meal. So technically it's like 6-7 meals a day. You'll be well fed, well looked after. Obviously this varies on lodges. If you're staying at an all-inclusive lodge, you get all this included. Some lodges you'll have to pay extra for your food and drinks, so just take that into mind. But if you're staying at a higher end lodge like we are, you'll get them things included. And then we'll move on swiftly, probably to the most important bit, because you might be panicking and going, what do I wear for safari, like we were? And I nearly made a mistake. So Ellie will go into the first bit for you for winter time.
So I done a lot of research before we come out as to what to pack. Obviously, never having done a holiday like this, I was really worried I was not going to pack the right things, or I wasn't going to, you know, basically just not going to pack the right things. Anyway, we're here in winter, so what you're going to need for winter, it's very cold when you go out on your first game drive. It's also very cold in the evenings when you're out on your second game drive of the day. So you're going to want trousers, long pants, long trousers, jeans.
Jeans is probably very important. I'll reiterate that in a minute.
Today I've got a pair of trousers on, and I've also got a pair of leggings on underneath it because it gets cold. The trucks do have blankets. We have blankets, and we had hot water bottles in the morning. Yeah,
they are a lifesaver. Trust me, in the morning they are godsends.
Layers. I'm going to say layers because I've got vest tops, I've got tops, I've got shirts, I've got jumpers. Obviously you're going to need a warm coat for the mornings on game drives. And if you're here in summer, it gets hot. So you could quite happily go out in shorts and t-shirt. I would probably say bring a rain mac or a rain jacket because it does rain quite a lot here in the summer.
Buy a pack of mac off eBay or Amazon. It's a mac that rolls up really short and it won't take up a lot of room in your suitcase or backpack if you're coming.
Just lots of layers. Obviously don't wear too bright colours, don't wear lots of like bright reds and stuff like that. Try and keep it neutral. If you're here in the summer, you want to tend to stick to neutral clothing because of the flies and the bugs and stuff like that. It's not too much of a problem here in the winter. So as you can see, James is wearing navy blue and has been wearing black as well. I've just been mainly wearing whites, greens and beiges and stuff like that. But layers. You need lots of layers.
And if you're a guy and you like wearing shorts like me, don't come in the winter and wear shorts because you'll regret it. I'm wearing jeans that I bought in Cape Town. I'm so glad I bought them. If I wore shorts, I think I would have frozen to death. But like with me, game drive on, but I love wearing t-shirts. I don't really like wearing jumpers. I'm a summer person and I don't like the winter, but today I wore this, 2 Adidas jumpers and another black jumper over the top and a thick fleece. And when we went on our bushwalk, guy was like, you're gonna need to take that off because it's hot, because winter time it'll be like 0, -1 at night. Today, like now, it's 20 degrees. It's lovely.
It's in the middle of the day right now, so it's nice.
It'll drop quick. In summertime, it'll still be cold in the morning. It's not as cold as what we're having. It'll probably be 6 to 8 degrees in the morning, and then during the day, as the sun rises quickly, the temperatures will peak to 30, 35 degrees. And obviously, you get different driving conditions on safari, so you'll be muddy on game drives like us.
In addition to obviously what I've said to pack, obviously clothes-wise, if you're coming in the winter, like if you're coming in the South Africa's winter time, or African winter time, I would recommend bringing like a bubble hat, a woolly hat, gloves, scarf.
definitely gloves. You'll need gloves because you want to keep your hands warm. Recommend a pair of gloves that we bought from North Face. They're quite good. You can still use your mobile phones to take photos. In the shops they're about £40. I'm not sure where you're watching the rest of the world. If you go to a outlet, you can get them for 27 like we pay for.
And you'll probably find, you'll see me in the videos with a scarf wrapped around my face. We're in an open top vehicle, so it gets very cold, especially when we go down into the valley. So I'll have my scarf wrapped around my face because it does get cold. And when I'm telling you it gets cold, it is freezing. So what I was saying about the gloves, these are the gloves we have. Just the North Face gloves, and like James said, you can use your camera equipment, your mobile phone and stuff like that with them, and they're also windproof as well, so that's really handy because otherwise your hands are going to get freezing. And yeah,
they warmed our hands up really quick this morning, so that's really good. Also, next category, probably a bonus one, we'll tell you a bit about the wildfires in this one, but just some other things to recommend. And after this video, don't switch off because we'll give you a little montage of the best bits we've seen on safari whilst we've been here for our 8 game drives and 4 nights. So don't miss that. So this last category, probably before we go into equipment and we should recommend stuff, when you're coming in the winter, so when it's dry and arid, sorry, someone's doing a plunge in the pool, it's like 5 degrees.
That pool is cold.
They're crackers. The family we're with, they're nuts. They're German and they're brave. One of them did it yesterday, sorry. When you're here in the dry months, you watch all these documentaries and they tell you about wildfires being, because it's being dry and it's hot, it's not. They're controlled wildfires. We've had them when we've been here. First night we got raging fires, and what happens is where the grass is so dry, they burn it before the spring rains come, and then when the spring rains come, where it's all died, new shoots of grass and all that will grow, so it's like all the animals have more feed. So it's all, whenever you see it's all controlled, it's not accidental. Yeah. However, here last year they had a lightning strike in the spring which caused the fire, but they let it burn, so they controlled it. There were tractors and stuff and they'll just control where it goes. Obviously if you're near a lodge, you don't want fire becoming near.
Yeah, and that is the reason why we can't stay in the treehouse, unfortunately, this time. Yeah, because of the controlled fires.
The soot and the ash.
And obviously I've got really bad asthma, and obviously they're concerned that the smoke will really affect my lungs. But
I'm gutted about that.
I'm gutted, but
that's 6,000 rounds, so I'm gutted. So it was 135 each, and that's the price for your 30th. But we're doing something else, so it's fine. It means we get to come back, we get to do Safari Lodge, which we'll have to do. And going on to like recommending equipment, if you're coming on safari, you can take photos and videos with your iPhone, which is fine. We've been using GoPro, iPhone, and mostly if you're looking for a camera, you don't want interchangeable lenses and you're not an avid photographer. For some of you people who've been on safari, you've probably got like lenses this big, but this is a Panasonic Lumix. It's the FZ 2000. We paid £750 for this, and basically in this lens it's all in one lens. You're not interchanging lenses. When you're taking photos, you can go up to 480mm, and taking video it goes up to I think 780 on. It's about 920mm. Now, if you're looking for a lens and you've just bought a body, them sort of lenses you'll be paying about £1,500 to £2,000 for a lens like that. And obviously when it comes on, this lens extends, but it goes when you video. This has got 4K video in as well, capable, but it crops in 1.5 times. So it starts on 32mm and goes up to between 780 and 920. You can get some great viewing, which if you've watched some of our safari videos before this, you would have seen how great some of the footage is.
Some of the animals will get close to the truck,
so you won't need.
So you may not need it. I mean, it's still really great to have that because the quality is unbelievable. Yeah. But obviously there are animals that are going to be a lot further away that you're not going to be able to capture with your iPhone, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
So in this situation, it's perfect, and I'm so glad we got it.
Yeah, I mean, we do vlogging, so this mic is on top extra, so we can capture the animal sounds, windproof. But this is the best money we've ever spent on the camera. And if we didn't have this, we wouldn't have all the amazing footage we'd have for safaris to show you. So really proud of this. I think that is it for our safari video.
Yeah, so if you have enjoyed this video, please like, comment and share this video. It really does help our channel. And if you've got any questions, just drop them in the box
safari
below.
Yeah, just drop some comments. If you want to follow us on Instagram, the link it'll be in the about section on our YouTube page. If that doesn't work, it's literally the same name as our YouTube channel, James and Ellie's Adventures. So type that in, you'll see our lovely little faces on there, and yeah, just drop us a message. We'll love reading all your comments, and we'll show you our best bits of safari now. So we'll see you around. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
zebras, jumping to the rolling jungle full of rhinos and pangas. Somewhere in the world, the sun shines right now. Somewhere in the world, the sun shines right now. Somewhere in the world, the sun shines right now. Somewhere in the world, the sun shines right now. Unknown discoveries are awaiting. Tropical rainbows dive into mountain springs. When the night falls, here come all kinds of species. Aardwolves, buffaloes, owls and goose babies. Honor and preserve the wildlife splendor. Honor and preserve the wildlife splendor. Care for and learn from the work of Mother Nature. Somewhere in the world, the sun shines right now. Somewhere in the world, the sun shines right now. Are you ready?